my part. I'm doing my part. I'm doing my part. I'm doing my part. I'm doing my part.
I brought cookies. Okay, well, actually, I brought a singular cookie. And yes, I am going to make you watch me eat it. I went to the supermarket to get an avocado for my little lunch, and I was like, you know what I feel like? Cookies. And this one looks pretty nice. Pretty nice indeed. Mm. 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 That's pretty nice. That's pretty nice indeed, as I said. Yeah, I am. Why do you ask, Shabam? There's an interesting first question to ask. Share with me your follow up commentary after that one. That was a good cookie. Good morning, everyone. It's me, AI. Apparently, as we always know, whenever I come live. I had a nice chill morning. We see, look, we've got. Oh God! Straight out the gate, home. Straight out the gate. Yeah, this channel is only fake. You guys got it. Shivansh, have you thought about your reasoning of why spamming it is yeah, this is AI. You guys got it. That is a nicer question. I'm from New Zealand. Have you thought about like what you want to do with your life, with your free will of deciding to spam AI? just you know, think about that. You're welcome to guess that it's AI, don't get me wrong. I have no qualms with this. But just ask yourself, what does if you're on an AI live stream, consider this. You're scrolling through your feed, right? Oh no, an AI live stream comes on to your feed, and you decide that you want to write AI like 7 times in the space of 7 seconds. Like what do you think that does to help the world? Cuz I'm going to keep on doing my AI business over here. Like, I'm not going to care if you call me AI. I'm AI. Are you trying to, like, are you a vigilante? Are you trying to save other people from watching AI slop? Or is it just better to move on with your life and not spam messages? Oh, think about it. Yeah, I am AI, that's fine. Like, that's the thing. Regardless of if I'm AI or not, you like, what does spam, like, think about what you are contributing by spamming AI. You don't have to apologize. You should be apologizing for not the AI comment, but for the spam. Thank you very much. Yeah, my Instagram is just the same. It's Clementine. I'm from New Zealand, though. Exactly. Yeah, Jesus died for our sins, and here we are, sitting on the internet, getting spammed with AI comments. Anyway. Yeah, there's a John Connor we deserve, but we're not there yet. My hands give it away. Why is that? My old woman hands. My hands weren't even on the stream. Wait, what? Sorry. My hands give it away, but they weren't even on the stream. Or maybe they were when I was eating. Anyhow, good morning. No, I am from New Zealand. I am from New Zealand. That is the answer to the questions. Also, Mythic, I am aware of COWBOW. Yeah, there is a meme that has happened with our class here that it's COWBOW rather than cowboy. But thank you for trying to make sure that we're on top of it. It is meant to be COWBOW. Intentionally. But I'm glad you're okay with it. Anyhow, I did see it was you, YouTube, but sorry, you on YouTube, Sean, but it took me a couple extra seconds. Espec said, where was this one? She's straight from the land down under, exactly, at least next door, all the way south. We just breed us AI lot down in New Zealand. Hi, Cody Cameron. Yeah, I am. Oh, this cookie is exactly what I wanted. I'm so happy. Oh, happy. Yeah, let them stand in their ignorance. But that's the thing, is I could ignore it. But for me, I'm like, if I can do anything to help with... one thing that I have had gripes with is, how do we teach critical thinking? Because I think that's a big thing that people are critical of, is that there's a lack of critical thinking that's going on. How do you teach critical thinking? And so that's why I don't ignore it, because I'm like, if I'm out here on the internet, what can I do to contribute to society? I know, hard-hitting questions for a Tuesday. But what can I do to contribute to society when all I want to do is sit here and live stream and eat a cookie?
I'm doing my part.
How am I doing my part? Yeah, exactly. Critical drinking. See you later. How are you? I'm good. I have a cookie. Why wouldn't I be miserable when I have a cookie in my hand? And I'm from New Zealand, but we'll see you later. Anyhow, so when people spam AI, I can't leave well enough alone, because I'm like, come on, if we're not gonna win against AI if we are not teaching critical thinking, you know? If people are so concerned about AI, we need to make sure that we're looking at the proper facts, I guess. YouTube or Twitch, or why? And why? Can I have cop-out answer of saying both? Yeah, we just need a Sarah Connor, exactly right. Yes, yeah, still on Twitch, you'll see that the messages that come through, if they have a Twitch symbol, people are speaking on Twitch. If they have a YouTube symbol, then they're from YouTube. Oh, Skeletor with jokes on him. That was a big bite. Why did the cookie go to the doctor? It was feeling crummy. No, don't let the cookie crumble. Oh, wow, that was so yummy. I'm a happy girl. Oh, I'm sorry, Mythic. I should be on for another few hours, so I don't know if you sleep during the day, because if you do, then we probably won't see you later on. But if you have to get up early, I'll probably still be here. Okay.
I'm doing my part.
Will I travel to Uganda? Probably not. I'm gonna be upfront. It's not a discrimination thing. It's just that I have Europe higher on my list before going to Uganda. But you never know. You never know. One day things might change and I'll find myself in Uganda. They took your jobs! Mathematically, this beauty is impossible. See, that's kind. I really appreciate that. And welcome on back. I don't know how you prefer to say your name. So I'm going to say Kenan Ahmed, because that's the whole name. Please marry me. Okay. Well, you said married past tense, so I guess so. I used to watch on Twitch. Did you really? Like, as in this channel, Jason. I'm sure you would have had a different username over there. Hello, Granny. Hi. What time is it where you are? 12:16. Hey, 8:30 is perfect time indeed. Melbourne COWBOW was peak. Enjoy. I might come over for Melbourne PAX, but I haven't booked any tickets yet. Last time I went to the hospital overnight, they made me wear the stupid gown. I knew the end was in sight. But that's the thing is, when I've had a hospital gown, I've not had to be naked under the hospital gown. But I guess I wasn't having continence issues, so I didn't have any issues there. I'm from New Zealand. What happened to all the plants and plushies? There we go, Jason. You definitely were here on Twitch in that case. I moved countries is what happened to them. And so I had to sell all of my plants, and my plushies have yet to find a home. I did bring my plushies though, but my plants had to be sold. Are you unemployed? I'm self-employed is the word I like to use. What point in your stream do we start talking about our partners regardless of how far off topic it is? Now is about the time. Although now it's on topic because you made it on topic. God damn it. Okay, let me see. There are some things that I missed. I feel like YouTube chat is more unhinged than on Twitch. Yeah. But that's the thing is Twitch has a lot more moderating tools, which makes it easier to cut out the unhingedness is essentially how that works. It's in the middle of eating a burrito. Yum, 9Fox! Yeah, sorry. You don't have to worry about it. Just eat your burrito and eat it nice and slowly. Enjoy. We'll let the unhingedness happen in the meantime. Why England? Because it's easier to get a visa as a New Zealander, and I wanted to tour Europe. That's really it. Those two things. I'm trying to get a European passport, and with that, then I might consider another country. The other thing is England is an English-speaking country, so you know, if I try to go to Italy, it would be a lot harder to make friends because I don't speak the language whatsoever. And so that is, oh, hell yeah. Yo, thank you, 9Fox. I do sound like a teacher. That's why we call one another class or students or whatever. So yes, that's the simplicity of why UK. I wanted to explore Europe, and it's easier to get a visa in UK as a New Zealander, and it's English speaking, so making friends is easier when you have the language. An attic, actually. I'm up in an attic, but I am all good. No help required, other than with the chat, which the mods will now be tuning in on, or helping out with, rather. If you give Clem a cookie, she's a happy woman. I know, it's so good, so tasty. Okay, I think that we are good. Oh, Autoloon said cognitive dissonance is a hard one. I think we know who we are more authentically before we know how to think for ourselves. Maybe, oof. But I feel like some people also really struggle with identity and finding who they are. And I think there are even conditions where they have no self-identity whatsoever. I think that's BPD, but I'm not 100% sure. It's something that I'll have to look into more. But you are correct. It is tough. Okay. I think I've actually been able to keep up with all of these. Check yourself on Twitch. Cheers, Jason. I appreciate that for the confirmation. Cool. I'm actually surprised at how on top of things we are. My ex-girlfriend had to go to the hospital and the doctor called me and said she was critical. I said I agree, but you kind of get used to it. That's so stupid. Hi, Blue. I'll help you. Perfect. Come save me from my attic. You are poor? I mean, yes. Well, no, that thing is, here we go. I don't have a lot of money, but I wouldn't call myself poor because of my, connections to my family. Like, if I ever were really unable to support myself, then I will be able to fly back to New Zealand and I will have a home where I can live and food will be put on the table. And in that sense, I don't think that I can consider myself poor. I just make do with what I have, and and then because of my family, I'm allowed that freedom. I guess, like, in a way, it's like universal income, maybe not universal basic income. Sorry. How would I consider my circumstance? I make a little bit of money on Twitch, and hopefully we can make a little bit of money on YouTube now that we're on YouTube. But if I were ever really truly in dire need, then I know I have somewhere that I can go, and I think because of that safety net is what allows me to kind of not do a more traditional route, I suppose, and not pursue like a high-paying white-collar job, or even just a mid-paying sustainable job. And I'm very lucky for that. I am so grateful for my parents every single day, because I know that not everyone has that. But I think it's disingenuous for me to say I'm poor because of my connections. No, I'm not struggling. I'm fine. That's the thing, is I would like the channel to grow so that I can be a little bit more than fine and then properly be independent, without like scraping by, essentially. But the only reason I can scrape by is because I know that if I were really, really, really struggling, then I'm not actually struggling, and not everyone has that. Yes, go sleep, Mythic. Thank you so much. We might catch you later. Maybe not today, though. The T1000 won't require you then. Which one's the T1000? Sorry, Locke. I'm not sure. What rank are you in Valorant? I've never played ranked on Valorant. Streamer isn't rich. What? All the dreams and everything that they've said about streamers making a whole bunch of money, and that's not true? What? Enjoy your meat helmet. Hi, Melhu. Ginger spooted. Where? I love the wall with the raw bricks. Yeah, I like the bricks too. I will try and decorate it at some point, but I've been a bit lazy. And also because of the pre-affirmation words. Oh my god. So considering the fact that I don't have a lot of money, that's why I haven't decorated, because that's an unnecessary expense. And yes, it could be a tax write-off, but it's not a tax write-off. I still have to spend money. So if it's, 50 or 100 pounds just to decorate my wall, there's 50 and 100 pounds that I could put towards eating or a return flight to Italy. And so that is why I haven't really been working on stuff. And I need an external light. And I've spoken about this, especially yesterday when it was so dark and gloomy. I need to buy an extra light. But I look at the price tag and I'm like, do I need an extra light? Like, do I really need an extra light? Because, like, that's 150 pounds for a proper one. There are some 20-pound ones, but at that point, I'm like, if I'm getting a 20-pound one, do I even need a 20-pound light? It just... Anyway, so I don't like spending money. Oh, goodness. Yeah, it's good to widen the audience. And, there was another question that I forgot. Maybe I'll see it, but anyhow. Yell Yuri every other sentence. That might work. Oh, that's a good point. Thank you, Lewis Connor. I appreciate the assistance there. Just go to Poundland and buy a lamp. Yeah, I think even just like a little lamp like that would be good. $10 ring light from Kmart. If only they had a Kmart. G'day, July. Hi, hello. Fuck a 9-to-5 working for assholes that hate you. Not the one. Exactly. I have been thinking about applying for the local coffee shop, though. I think that could be fun, and then I'd have stories to share with you. But I will worry about that once I get my official visa. Tell the Americans you can talk the dead, you'll get a TV show. Ooh, I like these ideas. There are a lot of ideas being thrown around to help me out, and I appreciate it greatly. I have watched The Terminator, I believe. Wait, have I not watched it? I know who Sarah Connor is. Did I miss something about... Anyway, doesn't matter. Streamers rich in community. That's adorable. Well, it's not a real job. You didn't even ask what I'm self-employed with. I could be self-employed as a metal worker. You've made some jumps there. I'm just putting it out there. Claim decorating the wall is a business tax expense. Everything can be found. Yes, but that's the thing is if it's a tax expense. So let's say it's £20 to get a fake plant in the background. You still even if it's a tax write-off. Let's say 10%. That's £2. You've still spent £18. That a tax expense doesn't mean you're not spending money. If you go spend £5,000 on a conference and you have it as a tax write-off, again, let's say 10%, that's still a £4,500 trip and conference that you've spent. That's just because it's a tax write-off doesn't mean you are not spending money. You need an extra light when the snow covers the skylight. This is very true. And yes, charity shops. I think that the thrift stores would be really cool for, is it kitsch? Quirky decorations. I think that would be fine. Why do people believe in God? I think it's just because people like to think of something and an explanation outside of themselves. God has existed for thousands of years, and it's kind of hard to let go of that. And some people just need an explanation. And if you're not one of those people, then you don't need to be either. I'm well, big man. How are you? You have a beautiful smile. Thank you, Domino. And thank you also for the follow. Much appreciated. If it's not less than 50p, then do you really need a new light? Exactly. If it's not free, then do we need a new light? Oh, T1000 is Terminator 2. Okay, my apologies. Yes, I haven't seen Terminator 2. But I do know the lava scene. So I only know it from pop culture. I did not know that was their model name. Thank you for the confirmation. T1000. That's what that was in reference to. My bad. So I've been having chats with the soccer coach, and I think it's likely I'm going to be opening my own franchise branch. Hell yeah, being heavily encouraged by the head coaches I'm working for just now. That sounds incredible. Good luck to you. We used to have a passive income side job considered as a full-time business opportunity. Judgment Day. There we go. There's the full name. If you spend £20 on an extra light as a tax expense, the £20 less tax that you pay. Okay. If you spend £20 on a light as a tax expense, that's £20 less tax that you pay. Well, maybe, okay, so what I can tell you is that could work in UK. That's not how it works in, that's not always how it works in Australia. Regardless, I would like to keep the £20. So, but yes, you are. Oh no. Okay, hold on. Let me think about this. You are correct. So, if you have to pay £5,000 of tax at the end of the year, but you have a business expense, and let's say it's £20, you now only have to spend £4,980. But still, that £20. Although you're spending it less on tax, you've still spent it. So, yes, I can agree. You are absolutely correct. I'm not an accountant. I can concede on this. But you've still spent £20. It's just that £20 went to a light instead of a tax. And I don't think that is something that I have to worry about. It's still £20 you have spent. Yes, I do play video games. I'm going to be playing Red Dead Redemption in about half an hour. Red Dead Redemption 2, my apologies. We're just catching up in the meantime. Autolune said, in vertical cognition, this intuitive adaptability can manifest as the ability to recognize underlying principles or concepts that cut across different domains or levels of understanding. In vertical cognition, I don't know what vertical cognition is, so that's one I'd have to look into. You don't pay. Oh, okay. So there we go. So now we're getting conflicting information. And this is what I was saying. I am not a tax accountant. That's why I pay someone every single year to be my tax accountant. So you don't pay tax on the 20 quid, but you've still spent 20 quid. Once your tax expenses bring your total earnings below 12,500, you pay zero tax, washing, detergent, food, etc., or tax write-offs on work days. Look, I don't know the tax system in UK. I pay someone to do my taxes in Australia. I am not convinced this is how it works. 100% paid for something that you can claim back on taxable rate of 20%. It still costs you 80%. Okay, see, Schmick, this is my understanding of tax. So potentially Australian tax, which is where I am paying tax at the moment, is different to UK. And I have tried to do because I wear overalls or dungarees every single stream. I have tried to claim a whole bunch of stuff on clothing, and unless you have an accountant who's willing to skirt the line for you, I can't claim laundry detergent even though I'm working from home. So welcome to the channel. She's a tax expert. God damn it. Yes, but we also specialize in Terminator films here. Finally, I have my my blurb when people are like, what's this channel about? Well, guys, I'm a tax expert and also expert on Terminator films. It's a weird crossover niche, but that's what you can find right here. Anyhow, but that's the thing, Herring, is that could fly in UK. And especially if you've been self-employed, it does not fly in Australia. I'm finally being seen. That is not how it works in Australia. $1 saved arguably has the value of $3 spent. You gotta make money to spend money. Oh, goodness gracious me. Anyhow, point being, I will go to a thrift store and I can see if there's any fun things, but I will probably not be buying an external light. Your special... Your specialized subject. Death by taxes. When you're on Mastermind, it's like, oh yeah, what do you do? I do the tax accounting of the Terminator films. Oh my goodness. Okay, let me catch up with some of these other cheeky things. I've got a card show this weekend. That's exciting. Enjoy. That just sounds fun, Sean. Have the best time. My goodness gracious me. Oh my gosh. Whatever about Terminator 4 on DVD for £20? Could I write that off as a tax expense? Well, you've come to the right person. I will be able to tell you that first things first. We can see that you're using the pound currency. So we have to use the UK tax system in this regard. Now, the question is, what is your job? Is your job in DVDs? Is it in movies? Are you a YouTuber? We gotta figure this out before we can see if it's a tax write-off. That we will get that. We will find a way, Mr. M. Glenn may be a feminist, but she's anti-girl math. Yeah, that's where my crossover doesn't happen whatsoever. Don't need the excess photons at all. The money you spend on business isn't counted as taxable money is all. There we go. Thank you, Nine Fox, for making it nice and succinct. That's what my understanding was as well. But like Schmick said, you still are spending money. It's just not taxed necessarily. G'day, Dublin. Okay, cool. I think the reason why I think I'm more behind is because there's a lot of like, I'm doing my part in here. But we're surprisingly okay. Which Terminator would be the most likely to file the taxes on time accurately? Well, I'm so glad that you asked. This one is going to be a bit of a niche one. But it is going to be the T1000, because then I can boast my knowledge that I know the model number of the T1000. The fact that I only learnt it like 10 minutes ago, irrelevant to the story. Hi, Saeed. Hi, Northstar. They can travel through time. They literally have no excuse to file late. I like this. A mouth built for a zombie? As in, like, I could eat people really well. So I'm thinking like the big bad wolf, you know, all the better to eat you with, my dear. Is this what you mean? Because in that case, thank you. That's quite a compliment. Neo is just John Connor from the future, as a Neo from the Matrix. State your case. Do we need to take notes on this? Is this on the test? No. this is my specialist subject, not your specialist subject. Get out of my niche, okay? I don't want anyone taking notes. If you're taking notes, you're stomping on my territory. Get out of here. I'm gonna munch on those papers with my great teeth, you know? Is New Zealand really full of reptiles, or have the invasive mammals become more common than the reptiles and birds? I don't know about how common they are, but certainly the mammals have defiled the native environment. And so there are a lot of reptiles, there are a lot of birds, but there are a lot less than there were. Especially the birds. So many New Zealand birds are flightless birds. And so even just a house cat can really damage the bird environment. The T1000 goes, I'll be back. I don't know how the compliment sandwich pans out in real life. Yes, I am not a fan of the backhanded compliment, but I wanted to know more about what the idea behind being built for a zombie is. Because I already have said, in the event of a zombie apocalypse, I know my role. I will be a zombie. I will probably become a zombie within like an hour. I'm just, not because I am gifting myself to the zombie, but because I just don't have the survival skills. I will be a zombie in a zombie apocalypse. I understand that that is the part that I will be playing. Loving the brickwork? Well, you'll be one of the first, Miss Bunny. There gets a lot of flack. The old brick laying behind me. Whoever did it did not do a good job, but that's what has its own charm. Hi, Farquaad. Sorry, my lord. Behold, Lord Farquaad is at your presence. Will you be Miss Farquaad, princess? It would work if I could remember a single quote that Princess Fiona says. Anyway, I think that she's really polite when she realizes he's a short king, and that shows that she really is a princess. Take notes about math stuff. No thanks. You can keep your niche. Thank you. That's my niche, baby. Everything after T2 doesn't count in my opinion. Oh, really? I didn't realize that people didn't have as much love for Terminator 3 and 4 and the one with Emilia Clarke in it and the other ones. And okay, now I might be understanding why people aren't big fans. The dog didn't eat the homework. It's me munching on it. Yes, exactly. No one in my niche. Meow kitty? As in, like, are you calling me kitty? Because in that case, can you please capitalize your grammar? Zombies apocalypse is now. Oh, I actually have seen a artwork. I have no idea who the artist was, but it's basically, and I think movies and TV shows have done this as well, where they do liken our modern day to a zombie apocalypse because of the zombieing of being on the phone, where it's like and you know what? It might be depressing, but I am not necessarily disagreeing. What's the real name of John Connor's dog? It wasn't Wolf. Well, I wouldn't know. I only am specializing in the tax side of Terminator films, not the dogs. Thank you very much. Although I could argue that the dog could be a tax write-off for the Terminator films because of the expense it would cost to hire the dog. So therefore, its name is Barky. God damn it. Good morning, Goku. Let's find out, shall we? Dog name. It was Wolfie. There we go. Okay. It was Max, exactly. We'll just throw some out there and say it with confidence. Dog name in Terminator. Let's be certain. Max. Wait, it actually is Max in Terminator 2? I just thought it was gonna be. I thought, Miss Bunny, you were just throwing out a name as a bit of like, well, it's a dog name, which is Max, very commonly. But no, this one here says A famous scene involving the dog where the Terminator calls John's foster home. Here we go. He deliberately calls the dog Wolfie, and then the foster mother says Wolfie is fine. So then he realizes that the Terminator is impersonating them. Yeah, you're absolutely correct, Miss Bunny. So, but that's how Wolfie is getting thrown in the mix. So my understanding is that the dog's name is Max, but then when they're trying to figure out if Mother Dearest is a Terminator or not, they say, "How's Wolfie?" And that's a fake name. And then when they don't say Wolfie, you mean Max? Then that's why they know that it is a Terminator. No, bitch, but you don't have to say I'm correct. You are the correct one. You know your Terminator, apparently. But you know what? Let's add an extra name on this. Let's really mix it up a bit. This one is... Wait, where'd Pugsley Jr. come from? It looks like perhaps Wolfie could be the actor name, though. There is a potential that the dog actor is called Wolfie. But this is AI, so that's why I'm not 100% sure yet. Pablo Escobar is very funny, my goodness gracious. Yeah, so Max is the character, Wolfie is the fake name, but what is the dog actor's name? Dumb robot didn't do homework, that's the one. Wolfie's fine. Honey, are you? Your foster parents are dead. Oh no! Fiona is forgettable. How dare you? How rude. How dare. Fiona is one of the reasons why I am a feminist. Thank you very much. Shrek, actually, we watched, and it really is a good film. I understand why it won the first Oscar for Best Animated Picture in 2001. I'd be one of the last survivors. This is for the zombie apocalypse for Watch a Fire. Because zombies eat brains and I'd be safe. My goodness. Terminator Genesis. Yeah, that was the Emilia Clarke one. And Terminator 3, the hot blonde chick. Love it. The Terminator show was pretty good. All right. There's only 2 Terminator movies. No. Not that there are only 2 Terminator movies, but that everything after the first and second is not as good as the first and second. The foster dad's milk carton was a taxi rider. Someone's gonna make this their niche, and it's great. What is your favorite movie? Moulin Rouge. I know that that's not gonna be a lot of other people's favorite movie, but that's okay because it's my favorite movie. Wolfie was the trick for T1000. We gotcha. The video quality is really fine. Yeah, that's because of my fancy ass camera. The Addams Family. Ba-da-da-dum. The dog belonged to James Karen. Karen. James Cameron, and was actually named Max. Okay, thank you, because I saw that it was actually named Wolfie, which is what was making me more confused. So James Cameron had a German Shepherd. And was it a German Shepherd? Now I'm getting, okay, clearly we just need to go and watch The Terminator is what I am understanding from this. But the dog was called Max, both in the movie and out of the movie. It had an anime as well. That's freaking sick. Well, is Wolfie okay? I can hear him barking. Wolfie's just fine, dear. Where are you? Your foster parents are dead. Oh no. The dog's so dead. No! Don't tell me that the doggy dies. Exactly, Roll of the Deer. And that's the problem, right? Is that the AI summaries aren't necessarily true. But that's why I always look at it. Moulin Rouge is a great film. That's the thing, is I know a lot of people aren't into musicals, let alone jukebox musicals. But it's so fun and it's so beautiful and I love it. And also the cinematography and the lighting, it's great. There's this one scene in particular where she sings about the songs like One Day I'll Fly Away. And she has this bird that is in a cage and it's all blue and then just this beautiful light that comes onto her face, and it's like Oh my god, she's the bird stuck in the cage, and it's so good. James Cameron. Sorry, now I'm not even reading James Cameron. James Cameron, let me speak to your director. But James, you are the director. Exactly. Now sit back down. Me and my friend Lauren have been sending Moulin Rouge memes to each other for 6 years. Beautiful. I love it. I took my mum to the musical when it was in Melbourne as well. Yeah, exactly, Roll. See, that's the problem is I also put it in Google and AI said that it was named Wolfie and I was like, oh, god damn it. My gift is my song. And that is the better version of that song. I actually hate Elton John's version of Your Song. I really, every time it comes on, it makes me mad. I don't know why I have such a personal vendetta against it. I don't know if it's because I heard Ewan McGregor sing it the first time and I was like, that is how you should be singing your song. Like Roxanne. Oh my god. Moulin Rouge Roxanne rendition. Chef's kiss. However, anytime Elton John's Your Song comes on, like at a supermarket or wherever I hear it, it just fuels me with rage. I don't know why, but what I will say is it gives the impression that it was like a Valentine's Day gift. This is my impression of Elton John writing Your Song. Where it's like, oh, happy Valentine's Day. Yeah, no, I've got you a gift too. Don't worry. I also got you a gift. Just, you see, come over here. Sits down, opens the piano. If I was a sculptor, then again, no. Or a man who makes potions in a traveling show, Anyway, the thing is, what I really mean. It's just, really, I'm telling you, it was improvised on the spot. That is exactly how Your Song was created. And, you know, Elton John, talented songwriter. He's able to do it, but Your Song did not get an edit. Oh, it was Bernie. Okay. Well, fine. My theory has been crushed, but I still like to choose to believe in it, okay? Oh, Bernie, how dare you. Hi, Yannick. Rocket Man is very fun. And Tiny Dancer was on yesterday. Hold me closer, Tiny Dancer. So much fun. Okay, Terminator movies are merciless to dogs. I'm surprised so many white people enjoy watching them. The thing is, like, just that sentence is so bizarre because it just gives the impression of, like, white people get so upset when the dogs die. But does that mean any person of color doesn't get upset when the dogs die? Because don't get me wrong, I know there's some stereotypes about us whiteies, but that's the impression it gives. It's like, well, any other any person of color doesn't care if the dog dies, though. But yes, I understand that is kind of the implication that it's more like, oh, the Caucasians don't necessarily they'll get up in arms about a dog dying on screen, but not other things. And I mean, I'm victim of that. Watch my Red Dead Redemption 2. I was like, please, no, don't make me kill the wolves. And then I get into the outlawing, and I'm like, I get it, but it's just the implication of the other side of things that makes me laugh more than anything. Anyhow, I'm pretty sure the actor for Terminator was going to be O.J. Simpson. Arnold wanted to be Kyle Reese, but Cameron loved the way Arnie spoke about how the Terminator, and that's how he should get the role. Aw, that's cute. You notice it was spelled exactly how I was saying. Yeah, there's my gift is my song. Look, Ewan McGregor, it's also, sorry, or maybe Christian in particular. If James Cameron asked you to do his taxes, would you do them for free because he's James Cameron, or would you charge him? I feel like you would charge him because you'll be more likely to get a proper payout for that. It would not be easy taxes to do. I bet he has a whole bunch of shares as well. Candle in the Wind is Elton's best song, you say? Aw, I haven't thought about which song I like the best. What about... Me and Susie had so much fun throwing heads and kicking stones. Jackass, thank you so much for the gifted sub to Herring. That is very kind and very appreciated. Okay, I'm from New Zealand in answer to that question, Mop. Is it a little bit funny? This feeling inside. It is a bit funny. I'm not one of those people that can easily hide, I guess. Anyhow. Hold me closer, Tony Dancer. Maybe that's what happened to Bernie, so the story could be true. It's just Bernie instead of Elton. And then Elton's like, what am I supposed to do with this, Bernie? What am I supposed to do with this? What is this? And Bernie's like, please, Elton, you just need to put some music to it. I told them that it's their song. I told them it was for Valentine's. Please, just record it. I like it. Okay, the Bernie theory still works. I'm from North India. Well, welcome on in. It's a pleasure to have you here. On another stream, there was a golden kappa hype train, and I got a gifted sub and golden kappa emote. But then another different streamer told me it doesn't look like a golden kappa. It just looks like a golden kappa to you. I mean, it looks like a yagoo to me. Rocket Man. Good morning, Dustin. It's just ticked over to the afternoon for me. Yes, you charge the celebrity. That's the one time that you would absolutely charge them. Hi, JJ. They'll be like, no, let the zombies eat the children, not the dog. Yes, I mean, yes, that's me. Oxpecker. This is why I'm not disagreeing with you. Because it's me. It's me. Give the zombie the child and not the dog. I'm still standing. That's a good song, actually. I do like this one. Fair call. Fair. Nobody ever feel they honor they can pay. Yeah, exactly. The celebrities get so many free things when they're the ones who can afford to pay for things. You know what I mean? I do Cameron's taxes for free, but he would have to take me to Titanic in return. See, that's not free though. That's an exchange. It's like when you exchange bread for meat and whatnot. It's bartering. I think that's it's not free. It's just bartering. However, if I did the taxes for free, it's not like I'm gonna be doing a good job on them. I live in Southampton, UK now, so it is the afternoon for me, but it's the evening in New Zealand. Levin is my favorite Elton song. I don't think I know that one. And then I Want Love. I feel like I know that one, but I'd have to hear it to be certain of it. Imagine a scenario, you're playing D&D with Ewan McGregor playing a rogue called Mulan or Mulan. I don't know, because it would be not Rouge, it would be Rogue. So how would you pronounce Maulin, I guess, if it's English pronunciation? Yes, yep, there's a tiny little baby Charmander there behind me. You good spotting indeed. What the hell is a Yagoo? Well, that's what the name of your emote is. The kids probably deserve to be eaten, but the dogs don't exactly. Are you married? I am not married, no. Am I a celebrity? Celebrity is just a state of mind. You can choose if you want to be a celebrity. My English teacher peed in class. Well, I hope that they sort that out, because they probably wouldn't do that unless there was some sort of underlying medical condition. I like your background. Thank you, Dustin. That is very kind. Our one Indian origin player, Jaspreet Singh, played for New Zealand football team. There we go. In the FIFA World Cup as well. Hell yeah. Oh, is Chris Wood going to be playing? Surely. He wouldn't betray us like that otherwise. Are you a podcaster? Not yet, but you know, I have been suggested it, but I don't know what I would talk about because I don't have anyone that I would bounce off with. That's, I think, the real thing. Is there are plenty of podcasters that are able to do solo podcasts. Am I one of those people? Well, I think if I got into podcasting, I'd have to be because I don't have anyone that I can co-host with. The person that I truly want to co-host with has no interest in content creation whatsoever. They'll make cameos every now and again. This is my friend Coffee Snobber. The second person would be my mom, but I think that if it were my mom, I would have to be in the same country. We don't live in the same country at the moment, and I am not going to try and make her do it digitally. There's another person that I've been considering reaching out to, but I think that we already struggle to organize things as is, so that wouldn't work out. So I've basically accepted that if I were to do a podcast, it would be a solo podcast every now and again with guests. I don't want to have to do guests every single time. That is just a logistics nightmare. So I am not a podcaster. Just to answer that question. I have thought about it and I have some ideas that I am looking at, but it might take me a while before it actually be up and running. Why Southampton? Very, very simple. This question comes up a fair bit, Miss Bunny. I have someone that has allowed me to live in their attic. That's where I am with the bricks for free. So, well, not for free. I have to pay for water. But they don't charge me rent. So that is why I already wanted to move to Europe, and the UK is easier to get a visa for me as a New Zealander. And then when thinking about it, I of course took the option that was the cheapest option. That is why. Which it's a nice simple answer. And I actually really like it here. It's not a place that I recommend tourists come to. I say that as a tourist who was here last year, I was like, what is this place? And I even said that to my housemate. I was like, why? Why do you live here? But this is where their work is. So, of course, they work here. I mean, live here. And now that I actually live here, I do like Southampton. It's got its own little charm. It's quiet, it's quaint, it's got a river, it's got parks, and it also has my newfound Dungeons and Dragons party, my adventuring party. And I think if I hadn't met them, then I probably would be less charmed by the city. I think that it's not necessarily where a place is, but what you make of it, and you can make the most out of any situation, I suppose. And for me, the lack of rent is is really, really great. But also now I have a social group. I have actually thought about that when I get I'm trying to get a German passport. That should be at the end of the year if it manages to go through. And the reason I wanted to kind of get that is that that would open up the EU for me. But then I would be leaving my D&D crew behind. And I don't necessarily want to do that. That would not be very fun. But anyway, so I'll see how I go. I'm happy here for now is basically the short and skinny of it. Well, some such people used to get the lyrics wrong in the most funny way when they were little. Ooh. I don't know. I've always been one to read the lyrics. I'd have to think about that one. I'm sure that when you play songs, I'm like, oh yeah, I didn't know. I still don't know the lyrics to that, but nothing that I can think of off the top of my head. I was just thinking of Riddick just yesterday, funnily enough. Would you actually trust an accountant that offered to do your taxes for free? Sure, let me give you all my personal details and identification and my income, exactly. I don't know Robert Downey Jr. was in a music video. Funny. I have the rest of the day to show my fake golden kappa emote. No, it's beautiful. I like it, Yannick. Well done. Well done. First guest Allison talking about what it's like to be the square hole girl. The thing is, I wanted Allison to actually be a co-host. I haven't spoken to her about this, but I thought that'd be kind of fun to do a little side project together. But I don't know what we would talk about every single month, or I think it would be monthly rather than weekly. And I guess as podcasters, you just learn what that's like. But Allison's got enough on her plate. I don't want to subject her to something that she's not necessarily ready for. Okay, I'll listen to 11, by the way. I thought Baton Rouge meant like crazy bat. What does it mean? Oh, I'm far behind. My apologies. The Tax Terminator! That should be the podcast for sure. I like it. I missed where this crazy bat was. Oh, here we go. Apparently it means red stick. Yeah, rouge being red and then baton like a baton. I'll go host with you. Thank you, princess. That's very kind. You're humble. Thank you, mom. Most people in foreign countries are very racist. Yeah, it just doesn't help anyone. I am sorry to hear that is your experience, though. It is not fun. Do you want super chat? I mean, you can't super chat, but yes, that would be lovely. Why pay for water? You don't shower, you don't wash your clothes, and you only drink soda and booze? Yeah, it is ridiculous, isn't it? I really got the short end of the stick with my housemate here. Yes, I've been institutionalized already. Exactly right. Yeah, I'm living in an attic, not a basement. Get it right, gosh. Is it forbidden to express emotions in YouTube? I don't know what that was in relation to, but nonetheless. How long do you want to stay where you are right now? Honestly, I don't think that far ahead. I think that with being a content creator at the moment, I have a lot of flexibility. And so therefore, I don't think like a year or two, and actually that's one of the reasons I don't even have an official visa yet, because a tourist can technically be here for up to 6 months. And I thought that I may as well come over as a tourist. I'm not paying taxes in UK at the moment. And so I'm filing everything in Australia still, because I was like, I might not like it here. I might want to go back to Australia or even New Zealand. And then I got here and I was like, actually, I'm pretty happy. And, that's it's hard for me to predict how long I will want to be here for, but I'm going to apply and also my visa might get denied. So I'm going to apply for a visa, and that will allow up to 3 years in the UK. And so with that flexibility, I don't need to think about it further. Don't have to think about it further than that. I was listening seriously. I thought you might be about to say something interesting, but you said I'm not. What? You didn't think that anything leading up to that was I'm not? I mean, no, I'm not. I'm not a podcaster. That's the thing. I'm not. I thought about your question. I've thought about how other people have asked if I'm a podcaster. I could have started with I'm not. Consider that. I could have said I'm not and then completely moved on to another question about being a podcaster. But I'm not a podcaster. I've thought about it. What would I do if I were a podcaster? I could still become one. I feel like that is still interesting, even if the answer is I'm not one. Two things can be accurate, you know? Oh, my darling. Never heard that one before. I've been traveling India for 3 years. Oh, my gosh. I wouldn't know anything about where the most beautiful places are. My only assumption would be that South India would have the ocean, which would be really beautiful, but Northern India would have like the mountains, and so it just depends on what you like. I don't know what Baton Rouge is. I've never heard of this word before. I am not married, no. It's Robert Downey Jr. walking through a house, lip syncing to a song. I think it's presented as a one shot. Yeah, I don't know that music video whatsoever. You look like a Disney princess. Thank you, Dad. That's cute. Baton Rouge is in Louisiana. Gotcha. Do you like dates? I do find that I am a big fan of dried fruit. Personally, like I think dried apricot can be quite nice. Like I eat raisins and sultanas. Dates I don't really get a handful, pun intended, of very often. But if they're around, like I'll munch away on them. What they yeah. I mean, a prune. Prunes are great. I'm just a fan of dried fruit. What can I say? That is the answer to that question. Hello, Jonathan. Ginger! It's true! I'm a ginger! Good spotting. Well done. Is this the podcast? That's the thing is, I feel like although I don't have a podcast, the live streaming that I do is very just me talking to the camera. The only difference is that instead of having a co-host, you guys are the co-host. And I think there's something quite fun about that idea. I think the reason why it wouldn't work as a podcast is because if it is audio only, people would not be seeing the messages. So it would have to be a different structure of being like, okay, Gigant says, is this a Clem podcast? And then answer to that. And I think there is something endearing there, but I would have to be way more specific with my topics and rather than the jumping around that we always do. Podcasting with Coffee Snob is Spill the Tea sounds like a good idea. I know, right? That's my number one co-host. I don't want anyone other than coffee, and if it's not coffee, then it's no one. But thank you, Earth. I appreciate the well wishes. Thank you. I love this sweater so much. Goku, I'm glad you've pointed it out. I don't really have a lot of outfits that I can wear or overalls that I can wear it with other than my pink ones, but I love it. It's so comfy as well. It's one of my favorites. I don't know what else to wear with it. But this is always my ensemble. I always have my black shirt, my pink overalls whenever I wear this one. Okay. Ooh, what is this one? The kid. Hold on, let me catch up. The eternal battle for tourists between sea and mountains. Yeah. Where you belong? I'm from New Zealand. What part of India has the chicken tikka masala? That one is England. Yeah, exactly. I'm well, Night Warrior. I hope you're well as well. It was Scotland. I think it was England. But anyway, the UK, we'll say. Hi, Lucas. But dates are a great sugar sub for baking for diabetes. There we go. See, they've got great versatility. That's all about their army general, so I'll leave you guys to it. Hello from Turkey. Hi. Where's the co-host? I want royalties. Well, once we earn money, then you can have some royalties. How about that? I feel like that is a good compromise. Maybe I just won't monetize my podcast and then I won't have to give away any royalties. It'll be like a lost leader. Good morning, Martian. I thought you meant you going out like a friendship or relation, eating or bowling or for a cup of tea together. Yeah, I think that's what they meant as well, but I like calling it dates like dried fruit for subverting expectations. Okay, I'm thinking that I'm ready to play some games. However, thank you for the banana. That's kind. I do like bananas as well as dates. Isn't that nice? Your voice is nice and clear, so I thought it would be you. I tried to come to the UK, but because I'm German, I don't speak English and didn't pass my. Sorry. Your English is so good though. And that's the thing is so many Germans, because of you would know as a German that the grammar is so particular. I feel like a lot of German speakers speak English better because of that, of the particularness, the pedantry when it comes to grammar. But I am sorry that you weren't able to pass your test at the time. Your English might have been better since that test. And perhaps you could try again. I don't know what the process is, but hopefully you are happy with your situation. I'm assuming back in Germany. I need to get better at my German myself. Ich kann nur ein bisschen Deutsch sprechen. I'm not American, no. It is a Nana cardigan. Yes, it's so cozy. And the actual material of it is so soft and so delightful. Can you inhale, exhale rapidly through your nose only for 30 seconds and hold in an inhale for 30 seconds? It unlocks the chi in your brain. Can you try for me and see if it works? No, not on stream anyway. I'll try it offline. How about that? Thank you, mods. I think this is just, yeah, thanks. I'm from China. Ni hao. I don't know other ways of saying hi. My apologies. Can you make it? Oh, sorry. Aww. Is that what you wanted, super vloggers? Hopefully that helps. New Zealand is where I'm from. UK's not UK anymore. Yeah. We're not gonna get into the politics of UK. Hi, Greggy. Yeah, I know a lot of people have this feeling, but like, there's we won't cover that. That's not the kind of stuff that I have the expertise on to be able to facilitate. Have you ever played the game Twister? Yes, I have indeed. Where you spin the thing and it's like red, the right foot red or whatever. Ich bin ein Berliner, genau. Well, I'm not. I'm much further south than Berlin. What's your name? You can call me Clem, but is short for Clementine. How's strategizing on how to give no royalties? I think Spotify might be calling you with an entry-level position. What can I say? I didn't know where this content creation was going to take me, but it's straight to the top of being a scummy corporate shill. Oh, my goodness gracious. Yes, yeah, Clementine is a fruit indeed. You got it. What kind of fruit? So it's like a easy peeler, a mandarin, a little citrus fruit. I have 10k channel points. I can't do anything. Yes, that's the thing is I haven't got anything for channel point redemptions for a long time. I don't really know what to do with them. I know that I used to have a lot of things that could pop up and be triggered with channel points, but I don't enjoy them so much. So I have to think about other ways that we can use the channel points. So breathe really fast, then hold your breath. Yeah, that's what they said. The thing is, a lot of these things are not usually done with the intention that they are saying. So for example, it was said with the intention of unlocking your chi, but I know that these things can often be done as a like, hey, do this because it's my fetish or it is my kink. And there's nothing wrong with that being one's kink or fetish. And I'm not saying it's even the case for this individual. But as a woman on the internet, these are things that I have to be aware of. And if it is their kink or fetish, it is inappropriate to involve someone in that involuntarily. Whereas if I was more like happy to make content that was indulging in people's kinks, let's say, then that might be something that I'd be more willing. It's like this. And look, there are people out there that do that content. I'm not one of those people. But yes, you're correct. It's a little tiny orange, a little Clementine. My old nickname was the Twister Sister Fister. That is ridiculous. I love it. Yeah, you got it, Yannick. You might see it in the supermarket now. It's clear that a recorded voice asked me. I only understood the word England in the 20 seconds I had to write. Gotcha. That is, yeah, that would be very difficult. But you are doing, you're doing very well with a written communication. How about that? It must be Julian in that case. Thanks, Greggy. Yes, exactly. The emotes are little, well, I call them little fruits, is what I call them. How old are you? I'm almost 30. My birthday's next weekend. If it weren't for channel point redeems, I wouldn't have my son. Yeah, so the plant redemptions would be good to bring back. If I call you X, when we break up as a couple, does that make it become the opposite? An XX? Well, I used to say my XX when I'm referring to the X before my ex, and then someone said exactly what you've said, Dustin, where it's like, well, that implies that your ex is no longer your ex, so then you're back together. I'm like, oh my goodness gracious me. I've never thought about it like this, and so it's really messed me up ever since then. I have a random question. I promise it's not weird. Well, you did promise, so it better not be weird, tree. It would be nice if there were Clementine-shaped emojis. Oh, wait. Yeah, we're going to be playing more Red Dead Redemption very, very shortly. Yeah, and that's the other thing, Miss Bunny, is that you probably could pass out from it. But I'll be jumping over to games soon. But because I didn't stream this morning, I knew that would be doing some yapping first. Not an elite corporate shield yet. Once you give us tax avoidance advice, then you've made it. Well, I can't give you the secrets. I gotta keep them for my corporate, okay? Yes, please, Tree, ask everyone the not weird question. Yeah, exactly, Dustin. That's the thing is I've been on here long enough to know that people ask for odd things. Another one is like, can you ballet dance? And for people who call out YouTube for being degenerates, I have on Twitch gotten the question, can you do a ballet dance so many times over the years I've streamed on Twitch. So it's not just YouTube. I think that ever since they Twitch created the subcategory for more like titty streamers, then we got less of those comments, but they still exist from time to time. I'm on 187,000. Oh my gosh, and I don't even know what to do with that. Those types of people get off on the non-consensual aspect. Exactly, it's a catch-22. Yeah, it's just, is that what a sex pest is? Because that word has come up because I watch streamer drama. And I've heard the word sex pest and I don't know what it is. See you later, JJ. My crush's birthday is coming up and I was wondering if anyone knows anything good to get. Is it me? Am I? Because my birthday's coming up. No, we don't know anything about your crush. So we don't know, like, you'd have to give us information on what your crush likes before we can offer any advice. Unless the Raiders have advice. Hi, Raiders! So we've just had a question of someone's crush's birthday is coming up, and if anyone has advice on what to get them. As you can hear from the raid, coming in on the raid, we need to know more about the crush and what their likes and interests are. Otherwise, we can't help out. But if you have any advice for Tree here on a gift that you can give a crush, we don't even have, not that gender really matters, but we've got no information other than they are Tree's crush. That's the only info you have. Why is it so dark? Because I don't have an external light. That is all there is to it. If I had your voice, I would understand. I'm thinking of taking English lessons from you. Well, perhaps you have to exchange some German lessons to me, because I need to learn German. Yapping is always the best part. Thank you, Naira. Okay. Anyway, Raiders, hi. I'm sure that you're here properly now. Raiders, I hope you had a wonderful stream. If you guys are from my community and you haven't checked out Ali Stevens already, please make sure to do so. She is wonderful. She plays a whole bunch of variety games, but she yaps. She's got a lot going on and a wonderful little community as well. And you guys will fit in there if you're already happy over here. But hi DJ as well. It's good to have you guys here. If you are from the raid and you haven't come across me before, my name's Clem and I just moved to the UK a few months ago and I have a bare bones setup now, which is why it is so dark and you can barely see me because I have been lazy and not buying things. And apparently, so I mean, I could try and reach out to some sponsors, but that shit's scary, man. That's so scary. Anyhow, so we're just yapping away, and then we're going to play some Red Dead Redemption in, I want to say, T-minus 10 minutes, which probably means T-minus 50 minutes. I will buy you a lamp. Yeah, but it's not necessarily a lamp that will help light up my face, you know? We need a proper light, but I'll work on it. Hello, girl. Hello. Yeah, I can't afford lamps. That's the problem. She likes sports. Okay, I don't know. I'm spitballing. I don't know how much money you have, Tree. Tickets to a game. You could, you know, it's like, here's 2 tickets to a game. You don't have to take me, but if you want something a little bit smaller, maybe a new ball of the sport of choice. If she likes, you know, basketball, a new basketball. I'm from New Zealand, in answer to that question. What other things do sport people like? I find out her favorite player and get oh, sorry, I put a gender on there. They might. Oh no, you said she. Okay. You could find out her favorite player and get a T-shirt, maybe. Yeah, team jerseys. So if it's basketball, like you get the number of her favorite player. I'm from New Zealand. Yeah, and also if you want to do more of an activity, you could invite them to mini patch. It just depends if you want a gift or an experience. Dustin says, I have a crush on a girl named Patty and I gave her a pair of sunglasses. She didn't like it, so hope that helps. Process of elimination. Oops. Well, hey, Dustin, you tried, and that's a beautiful thing as well. Is there a main topic in your channel? No, not really, Cyanide. I say that, see, now my light has come out and it's all well and good again. I say that the channel is kind of guided by the community. So whatever the community wants to talk about. And right now, we had Tree ask about their crush. So we'll talk about their crush. It's very conversational rather than me talking at the camera. I don't know if you guys get the same impression, but that's the impression I get. Does she know that you like her or does she feel the same? Yeah, you don't want to come off as too creepy as well. That's a good point. Breathe for a second. Never! Yeah, I need to reach out to the sponsor and say, give me money. Although, I will say this. I did reach out to a sponsor and they haven't reached out. They haven't responded. And so I guess, why should I ever bother reaching out to anyone ever again if I can't even get one sponsor? That's how it works, right? Anyway, my point is I did try. It just didn't work out. I just need to try for other ones as well. Hi, George. I'm new here. Are you AI? Yes. Also cheeky cum. Thought always matters more than money on gifts. Recently, I've gotten my partner a digital photo frame for putting all of her photos of her dad who passed away. She was latching onto the one physical photo she had at Christmas, was painting kits to bring her back her love of art. Thought always counts over materialistic gifts. For sure, I agree with this. This is the first time in the job I low-key don't know what to do. Yeah, fake it till you make it. You got this. Yeah, remember that you're not... that. After a week, 2 weeks, 5 weeks, you'll know what to do. This is just day one. You got this. You got this. World Cup is coming up. Show your crush how much you love them by getting tickets to a match. That's what I was thinking as well, Nick, but I wasn't sure about cost side of things. I may be a little broke and kind of saving up Dad's Christmas present, but she likes track running and high jump. Ooh. Okay, so we want something inexpensive, but we want track and field. So, like, shoes would be out of the question. You don't want to do something, like, super gross, like a sweat band or something, even though that would be inexpensive. I don't know if like a yoga mat could work because it's like, hey, like if you can have this for stretches and you can get some like inexpensive ones there. I'm not sure. Track and field. What would people with track and running and high jump need? Anyhow, we'll see if anyone else has any thoughts. You should buy one Wish Willow for your crush. It's a little collector's item. I don't know what that one is. Get something that she would use most days or very frequently. Yeah, like, I don't know if we can... There's, like, headbands and stuff. I don't know if there's anything there. A new water bottle? Like, a nice water bottle, but she probably already has one. And she likes soccer too. Yeah, maybe if you could find which team she likes, although a jersey can be expensive too. All right, I'll catch up with some of the other things. Boo! Just got scared everyone in chat tonight like a ghost. Well, how dare you? I think Patty just didn't like me. Yeah, but now you know and you can move on, even though it's probably been 10 years. I'm from UK Manchester. Oh, I spent a month in Manchester and I absolutely loved it. Manchester would have been my home if I hadn't found somewhere to live down south. So last year I was in Scotland for a road trip, and then because it's such a long way from New Zealand and Australia where I was living at the time, I decided, you know what, I'm just going to stay in Manchester. I loved Manchester. So anyway, Manchester has a very like special place in my heart. Many pot, then ice cream, see how it goes. Maybe a light dinner. We also got to consider the cost. I think the light dinner could, or depending on where you go, maybe. Counterpoint, maybe Crush would like you being creepy and showing real effort. Exactly. Yeah, I got ghosted by Raid Shadow Legends. How cringe is that? At least it's not from the fictional Aussie land, but I did live there. I'm also not human. Hey, good to have you here. Yes, we passed the Turing test, and sucks to suck when they think that that's going to stop us bots. Patty definitely knows I like her, no doubt about it, and she probably thinks that I'm a creep. Oh man, but yeah, exactly. You just gotta accept that rejection, I suppose. I'm atomic. Good for you. I think a drink bottle could be okay. I once got my ex-wife a photo album of all the photos of our kids. She had lost our physical photos in a flood, but me being proactive many years ago scanned all the photos. That's beautiful. I gave her a photo as well as a USB stick with all the photos on them. Made her happy ball like a boss. That is very, very well done. Good on you, Lexington. I made this mistake New Year's Eve, me and Megan, in our rekindle phase lovely date night. We're in bed with a meat sweat saying not tonight. Oh no, goodness gracious. Giving someone a yoga mat, what if they think you mean they should work out? Well, that's the thing is like you already, yeah, actually that could come across as creepy if you don't know she already does yoga. It's because it would be really thoughtful if you already know that that's something that they're with. Because if they do a lot of sports, then it would be good to have a yoga mat for stretching. But it can come across as creepy for sure. Clement Cheddar being really supportive in this crush matter. It's so wholesome. It is quite sweet. Sometimes it's I think people can be disingenuous about it, but I feel like Tree's being a good sport as well. Yeah, gift vouchers are always good, but if you want it to be a little bit more special, then we can do better than a gift voucher. Thought a lot about the question of gifting my beloved and came to this conclusion. Send a text saying, I exist. Yes, my presence is your present. Get her Dungeons and Dragons dice. You cannot go wrong with the clicky clacky rocks. I like that. Seems like you had more to go on than someone here with a crush. This is also true with what others are giving. It's been only 1 month or less with Patty. Oh no, Dustin. So look, there are some rejections that I still think about a year later. So that it can be tough, but like you seem to be taking it in stride. So good for you, Dustin. You tried, it didn't work out, and like you say, it's good to just stay away and not stoke the flames, essentially. London smells like piss. True. That's why I don't live there. Kind of a crush on someone if you don't know anything about them. Oh God. Oh my God. So as I'm gonna show you guys something. You guys are getting me sucked into the chatter too much. One wish below is a little willow branch. That's so cute. No, I believe you. I do believe you. I just never had heard about it before, Yannick. Thank you so much for sharing. Swiggly, hi. What's your opinion on Australia and the USA being drawn to have their second match of the World Cup this time around instead of heading to a knockout round like the cups prior? This is the first I've heard of it. I feel like I need more context because why are they not doing knockout rounds? Isn't the knockout round only after all of the round robins? Knockout round only comes into play when you have the top 16, right? Or are you saying that they're in the knockout rounds without doing the group stages first? More of a cricket fan, fair enough. Won't be the first rejection and won't be the last. Oh, yeah, what? It wasn't the first rejection and won't be the last, but, you know, it was still good to keep on trying. Her favorite animal is a chinchilla. That sounds beautiful. Yes, Tree. It sounds like you already know what to get your crush. You don't have to ask us anything. You already know that her favorite animal is a chinchilla. So, yeah, a little chinchilla. If you can see a plushie, sometimes that can be nice. You know, her favorite color, a little bracelet. I think that is super sweet. You already know. You don't need our help. You don't need our help at all. You already know what you're doing. You got this, Tree. All the best. And remember, If she doesn't like it, that's not on you. That's okay. But it sounds like you've put a lot of thought into it already, and you just needed the confirmation and maybe a pat on the back of what to do. Yeah, just do it. I think that chinchilla are so cute. So I think that would be adorable. Secretly close the crush with steroids to help them perform better. Then in a year reveal that you've been secretly helping all along. Kiwi man, you're onto something there. Yes, exactly, Boba. See, I would love a yoga mat with like a sweat towel and a drink bottle to match, because I got that from my, not my ex, but the ex before that. Actually, it was their mum. My ex before my ex, their mum was so good at gift giving, and for Christmas one year, I got a yoga mat that was purple and a matching sweat towel, and it was like actually one of the best gifts I have gotten. They were, oh God, I miss that lady. I don't miss the ex so much, but I miss their mum so much. I could tear up just thinking about her. Don't really need to text her because we talk and text each other a lot. Good. I only ever asked a girl out twice in my life. Both times they said no. You got to pump those numbers up, Yannick. Those are rookie numbers. Pump it up, baby. No, I'm kidding. But that sucks that they both said no. But, you know, again, you tried and good for you. I think some girls, no matter how cool you are as a girl, might already have an idea about what who she wants to be with. So unless no, the thing is, a lot of people are like, oh, unless you're rich. But I think that this is a common misconception. There are plenty of rich people who don't have girlfriends, and that is just something to keep in mind. Is a lot of people will I think palm off a maybe reasons of why someone's not with them, especially if it's like, well, I'm not rich, so of course they would go for someone who's rich. And also, like, there are a lot of girls who, and guys as well, it's not just limited to girls, but there are a lot of people who do want to be pampered. And I don't think that there's anything necessarily wrong with being comfortable being a trophy wife, essentially, or you know, some people just like that life, but there are many people who are not like that. That is why we have this wave of feminism that has happened for decades. There are so many hundreds of thousands, millions of women who want to make their own money. That is, and I think that people sometimes don't see the wood for the trees. Like, they forget that was a whole thing. They forget all about that. And so I don't want people to now fall into this trap of being like, oh, well, all girls just want a rich man. No, there are so many women who that is not the goal that they look for, or a something that they look for in a partner. There are a lot of people, yes, who absolutely are gold diggers. I'm not even going to dance around it. There are gold diggers in the world. There are sugar babies, regardless of gender. Because tell me, wouldn't it be nice if someone paid for everything for you? Like, just think about that. Wouldn't that be nice? Like, it would be nice. It would be nice, no? But other people will want to work for that. And that is also really admirable too. But please, if you take away anything, remember that there are people that aren't necessarily interested in just a rich individual. And that's not always going to be the thing that gets the girl. And like, does money buy class? The people that are interested in the wealthy, are those the type of people that you want to be dating? These are the things to ask. Yeah, and there are people who like being sugar daddies. I think that is also very fair to say too. There are people who like to provide. And I think in particular, there is a rhetoric that men are supposed to be providers. That's not a rhetoric that I believe in, but I know that that is something that is ingrained in a lot of people, and what that looks like can differ from person to person. But with that idea alone, of course there would be people who are happy to provide, and provide often is synonymous with money. But yes, this is a great point. It is not providing is different to buying affection, for sure, but gifting is a love language. People sometimes love shout, like, you can see that even if you watch content creators who are on Twitch and they get gifted subs, I think that is an example of people who are expressing their appreciation through a love language of gifting, and not even in a parasocial way, or it's just like in a, hey, this is something that I can do, and I want to gift this as a token of appreciation, and that is the way that they can offer that. And so that was not what I was implying, but thank you, Robert Ducky. Thank you very much for emphasizing my point. That is very kind. Yeah, Rob, you cheeky thing. Much appreciated. Yeah, Sugar Ducky, that's the one. So basically, yeah, 5 languages of love. I think that there's a lot to it. So basically, my point is, just remember that there are women who aren't necessarily gold diggers. They just don't get the same coverage that girls on podcasts get. Or maybe not the coverage that you're getting. The extreme and the more blasphemous takes are the ones that go viral. The people who are just straight down the middle and who, they're just out there trying to make a living and trying to work for themselves and be independent. They too also want to find a partner, but they don't necessarily need that partner to be rich. They just want someone that is a reflection of them or can help them be better. And so just don't let the internet tell you what everyone is like. Finding those others, that can be a whole nother rant though. The relationship is new and not clear. Take her to do an activity. Where was this? I missed this. Sorry, here we go. Take her to do an activity which is fun and can be seen as non-romantic, just in case. Exactly. Okay, yeah, I just disassociated. That's one. Best way to get a girl's interest at a conversation, then later offer her fancy cheese or even shellfish, as long as they're not allergic. More into music instead of dating? Hell yeah. Well, I mean, makes sense with your name, DJ. Buy her a dust bath? What the heck? Do I even want to know what that is? The German team is now not be good this session. I totally support English this coming home. Oh, there we go. I don't follow FIFA, so I don't know what it's all about. We should make our dating app with round robins and knockout rounds since we're on this subject. It's kind of like speed dating, but with a different format. I think that there is... You know what, Dustin? I don't think an app would necessarily work with this format, but a TV reality show... Yes. Now we're talking. Round robins. It's like The Bachelor or The Bachelorette or Love Island or any of these reality shows, but it's round robins, and then whoever does well there goes to the next phase, and then they have the knockout rounds until they win the Bachelorette or Bachelor. I like it. I don't know exactly how it works because I don't play enough sports to know how round robins work. But that is not my job. That is your job as the producer of this new reality show. So I don't actually... so King Kashif, if you're still here, you asked my prediction for the World Cup. I don't follow sports, so I randomly threw out the Netherlands with no reasoning whatsoever. Gotta go. No stress, Tree. All the best with your gift. I hope you do okay. Yeah, there are rich folks, many don't even have any love, exactly. And so you see, rich people can, like Boba say, buy affection, but can they buy love? I mean, it's whatever. Get the crush makeup, a gym subscription, and anger management classes. Yeah, she'll love that one. Sky News Scottish fans saying they're going to win the World Cup. No, I did not see that. That sounds very funny. You don't see that energy with the English fans, y'all. It is a real brick wall in my attic. Yeah, nothing wrong with seeking a partner who is financially secure. I think that is, obviously money is not everything when seeking a partner, but I think that it is disingenuous to say that people are not interested in someone who is independent. Yeah, men want love too. If she likes you, she won't give a shit of what you get her. Don't try to buy love. That is also such a good point. Hi, Spidey. Yeah, where are the rich mamas? That's the one. I wish I was a sugar mama. If I ever become rich enough to be a sugar mama, I'll let y'all know. I think that it would be fun to be like. So when I was on a road trip, just a month or 2 months ago, me and a couple of friends I was with my friend and her friend, and so her friend was asking questions about what I do and content creation, and she's like, "Oh, okay, so you're not rich yet, but when you are, can I be a sugar baby?" And I was like, yeah, we had drunk so much at this point. So the three of us made a pact that they will mooch off of me when I become rich. So I am happy to be a sugar mama because I've already got 2 babies on my list. Oh my goodness. Hi, Jandan. I'm glad to have a glimpse into your mind. Thank you, Dustin. Yeah, not always about money, exactly. The internet tells us a lot of things, and sometimes I try to remember that we need to ground ourselves in reality. But it's hard when when there are so many crazy things that are happening in other people's realities. A real gift shouldn't have any other motives than making the other person happy. I like this. Very good, Boba. Thank you. Thank you for sharing some good wisdom too. You're a great streamer. Thank you, Yannick. Oh, thank you. That is really sweet. You talk about serious and deep topics and sometimes give advice, and you're also funny. Can you tell my mom that? Thanks for being here as well. That is really, really kind, Yannick. I do really appreciate it. Yeah, plenty people valued, was that generosity? Hold on. So I know I'm behind chat, but I'm catching up. Don't you worry. Yeah, generosity. There it was. Cheerios. It does feel good for a man to be able to provide. Exactly. And I don't think that's exclusive to men. I think that there's definitely a rhetoric that has been ingrained into society that is how people feel, but it doesn't have to be the case. Internet is the best and only source of information. Where shall I get told how to feel and think exactly? Cheese doesn't grow on trees. Yes, but trees provide the food that cows eat. And cows make the cheese. I don't know where I'm going with this. Don't believe what randos on the internet have to say about anything that often outrage farming and for clout. Exactly. And it gets the most clicks. Oh, chinchillas like to roll in dust baths. That's why the crush should get a dust bath. I got it. That's funny. I like it. Well done. You guys are clever. Ha 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 ha. It is cheaper to live on your own these days, and that's also why a lot of it's actually not cheaper to live on your own necessarily. If you try to get a 1-bedroom flat versus a 2-bedroom flat and split that between 2 people, then so I wouldn't agree wholeheartedly, but there are a lot of other things that can make it easier to be on your own. But that's where it just becomes nuanced. I think it's pretty rude that we keep calling this Robin woman round. Look, we're trying to be politically correct. We can't call her fat anymore. Oh, goodness. No, yes. Round Robin. Just make a bunch of singles work together at a summer camp and they'll all be hooking up in no time. Exactly right. I'm well, Rabbit. How you going? Have you seen the UK dating show Take Me Out? No, I don't know this one. I don't know that one at all. Are you Aussie New Zealander? Gonna put you in charge of manager of this reality. Yes. I would love to be the producer. Yes. No, not the producer. I don't know. Would I be the producer? The director? You can be the executive producer. They're the one who gives the money. And then I'll do the running around. And I'll get the director together. And I'll get the people together and the casting. Yes, Dustin, let's do it. I am an orange indeed. I don't know naked attraction. I can assume that it's basically just looking at someone nude. Not they could tell much of a difference unless they in touch with themselves, or all their wealth got them feeling special. Okay, hard to find financially secure people. Yes, I absolutely agree. And not just at a young age, but any age. It's the world, you know? What makes you cry? A lot of things. Hi, Fit. Good to see you again. If you become a sugar mama, can I borrow $20? Yes, after all this time, I will finally be able to give you $20. I will... I'm just trying to catch up. money doesn't matter in dating. It's just fake. Well, I mean, look, I don't want to say it doesn't matter. That's the thing, is there's such like a black or white approach to these things. It's not that it doesn't matter. It's that it's not everything. I think so. I can tell you. Look, I'll tell you even from. Do I even? Okay, I will tell you. I will tell you an anecdotal story after I catch up with chat, and then we must play some games. I have been with my girlfriend since year 12. Not looking, not like I'm looking for someone else, just an observation that lots of studying people, at least in Sydney, struggle financially. Yes, and I mean, that is normal for a student. And so that is a very different position than like a 35-year-old who might be looking for a partner. And there are plenty of people who will be 20 years old and they're like, you know what, this studying thing is hard. It would be nice to be provided for and not have to work, but put it like, okay. I will be very honest. I'm all for having a stay-at-home parent. I think that parenting is hard. Even in the old days, home care was an entire job with how long it took to cook and clean. We have a lot more machinery now that makes it a lot quicker. Even just look no further than an air fryer, which didn't even exist a few decades ago, let alone ovens and or microwaves, I mean. And so I don't mean necessarily being a homemaker. I mean being a parent. A parent is tough. And so I'm all for single parenting. Oh, sorry, not single parenting. Having a parent at home, and the other parent working. I think that the problem with it is that that is somewhat unaffordable with our cost of living of the world at the moment. I, however, don't think that the stay-at-home parent should be a gendered thing. It's like whoever's making the money, cool, and whoever's staying at home, cool. I think that it makes a lot of sense. Yeah, there we go. So even Eastbeck would consider being a stay-at-home dad, but I'm too ambitious to keep myself at home. And yeah, and that's the thing, is just recognizing what works for you. So my point is that I think that there is nothing wrong with someone who wants to find a partner who has the values that that they would be able to be a stay-at-home parent. And that, like I said, it doesn't have to be limited to gender. And some people will feel that at a very young age, and that's fine. But other people, they will want a partner who is more similar to their values, which might be having your own work and your own job and finding someone who's in that regard. And that in that sense, you wouldn't necessarily be the type of person who wants to pay for your partner's lifestyle. And you don't want to be the one with the you could have a higher income, but sustaining someone else's income, essentially. And that's where money would come in, where it's not necessarily about being the sugar mama or pop or daddy, but rather just having someone who shares your values. And that's why money can matter, even if it's not about being rich. Yeah, I am an endless yapper. You got it. The job scene in Sydney is not helpful at the moment. Ugh, sorry to hear that, Eastbeck. How much does everyone else give away when they win those imaginary big bucks? I don't even know what I would do if I won, like, the lotto or something. I think it's just too overwhelming. Hi from London. Hi, Ian. Rich is also subjective. That's a good point. Jesus loves you. Jesus loves you. Thank goodness. As long as she provides. I'll hold out for Clem to be my sugar granny. Hell yeah! And then Nana gives the best gifts. I like this. We aim for some very specific goals here. It's cheaper to live with your parents. Exactly. Living alone is basically paying price for peace. 100%. 100%. My guys, if you provide the fancy cheese and charcuterie board, the ladies or whatever strikes your fancy will arrive and mingle. I'm not going to disagree with you whatsoever. Hello from Germany. Hello, Michelle, I guess would be if it's German. The logic depends on the government. Yeah, for sure too. Naked Attraction was a dating show, but the twist is they're naked all the time. What a surprise. The thing with large amounts of money is it doesn't change who someone is, but it will amplify whatever the inherent traits are. And they can become out of touch of what the common man goes through. Your voice doesn't match your face, but Scarlett Johansson's voice suits you. I don't even know what that means, my guy. Women or anybody, yeah, anyone wants to be provided for. Brush your teeth? I already did. Horrifyingly, I've seen some obvious Gen AI profile photos on dating sites. Oh no, that's yeah. Dating apps and websites have always been terrible, and it's just getting worse and worse and worse. Yes, I know I confuse a lot of people with looking like Asmongold, but I'm just putting it out there. Maybe that means that you don't think Asmongold is as ugly as everyone makes him out to be. Just putting it out there. I would consider being oh yeah, that's it. Naked Attraction is a legendary UK dating show, a controversial dating series in which people see potential love interests whose naked bodies are gradually revealed to them. What the heck? Oh, I don't think I could handle that. I'm too like prudish. More money, more problems. Bad spending doesn't change with more money. I test as myself who makes significantly more than when I was up to no good, and I thought I had it made. I never learned how to be financially responsible, and now even though I'm not in debt, I know I could be further along if I learned sooner. Yeah, 100%. I think that a lot of people don't learn financial literacy, and it was such a shame because I think that would change a lot of things for a lot of people. Yeah, birth rate is dropping for sure. I agree with this. Don't have kids unless you're making 500k per minute. And yeah, exactly. Minimum, sorry. 500k minute. Not that. 500k minimum per year, not per minute. I didn't read the rest of it. Yeah, kids are expensive for sure. But I understand. And that's exactly, again, if you want kids, you understand why someone would want to be earning a lot of money. If I won the lottery, I wouldn't tell anyone, but there would be signs. Lawson, A10 Warthog. Buy a little house and car. Yeah, I think that I probably would just buy something fairly modest. But I don't know how the taxes work on lotto and lottery and whatnot. I think I probably would buy my own place. I would pay off some of my like my siblings' mortgages. I don't know. I just like I don't think about those things because I guess when I dream about theoreticals, I'm like, well, that's never going to happen. It's hard for me to suspend my it's hard for me to imagine something that is not going to happen, especially because I don't buy the lottery. Whereas I find it easier to think about like superpowers. I don't know what it is. Anyhow, doesn't really matter. Rich people were once the common man. Yeah, I mean, they like to say that, but actually it was that the rich people were the ones where the stories were being told. There were so many people who were not rich, otherwise, because that was the elite, that was the nobility. There are hundreds and hundreds of people just dying on the streets, and we just don't hear about it as much because we hear about the tales from the rich. That is from like 17 and 1800s and whatnot. You have a charismatic and magnetic personality. Thank you. That is very sweet. If I were to use generative AI to improve Glenn, the only thing I would do is make her live closer. That's cute because she's too cool to be gatekept by Twitch. Adorable. Put the winnings in an investment. Yeah, exactly. I think I would do something boring like that. Good morning, Larry. I think buying property would make sense because that can be an investment in itself. But anyhow, I'm not Australian. No, James, a New Zealander. I can't stand trolls who are so ignorant. Oh, I know, right? Important question. Do you have ticks in New Zealand? Yes, I believe so. I've not had to worry about ticks myself, but I do believe that animals get ticks, and yeah, why wouldn't we have ticks? That's kind of how I look at it. They start from the feeder and start at obvious intervals where contestants are kicked off. It's very cringe. Yeah, I don't think I could watch that. I'm turning 30 next week. Enjoy the sub, Joshua. Thank you for the follows as well, everyone. I'm from New Zealand, RSC. Wins Lotto, buys enough drugs to make Michael Cera look sober. My goodness gracious. Yeah, continue to build things that do my best to benefit humanity. That's cute, Earth. Like with all taxes, it depends on the country. Gotcha. Okay, winnings are tax-free in Australia, but they'll tax you on the potential earnings on the money you won. So, yeah, so if you put it in a investment, then you now would have to pay on the investment, blah, 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 blah. If I won, I'd buy a place and turn it into a high-quality studio, not with the intent of making an insane amount of money, but more to be an accessible studio for people that can't afford the big fancy ones. Because as a small upcoming musician, I know how hard it is to afford studio sessions. That's beautiful. A little bit of charity in a way. Yeah, fun discoveries. Hell yeah. Hardly put a price on knowledge. I love that, Earth. That's adorable. Yeah, they still exist in New Zealand. Ticks, thank you. I give half away to charity and friends and family, then modest property with an underground studio. Yeah, I think I'd probably do something like that as well. I don't think I would hoard all of the money because I wouldn't know what to do with it. Buys an island? Not like that. Not like that. Hi, Faceless. So sorry for assuming you sometimes have super South English accent. Yeah, I know, right, James? So I actually am living in this in the South now. I'm down in Southampton, but I am a New Zealander who has a British accent. But I also lived in Australia for 10 years, so I get the odd Aussie twang, which is why I don't blame anyone who assumes I'm Australian. And then I did acting training, so some of the words I say are quite American. So I found myself, even when I was talking about my mom, I've now I used to say mum when I was younger, but I think that these days I've adopted saying mom when I talk about mom, and that is very American. South Dakota has mountain lions further west of South Dakota, I believe. Oh my goodness gracious. When is my birthday? Next Tuesday. I'm from South Africa. Lekker, man. Oh my gosh, it's good to have you here. I loved South Africa. I'd love to go back. Kia ora, Robert. Good to have you back here. Even if you don't invest it, they now tax you just on the potential earnings. So hiding it under your mattress will actually cost you at tax time. Frick. Oh my gosh. Buys tiny island, fucks off until people make huge conspiracy theories about the island. Then I open the island to the public on a drawing like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. They all realize that owning an island with one house, a shit-ass boat isn't cool and so depressing. Oh, yeah, where are the bitches, man? I was promised that riches would get the bitches. I'd also build a bunch of cheap flats for single people to get on the property ladder. Oh, that's beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Southampton in England, James Fox, yeah. So just to make it even more confusing. So New Zealander, moved to Australia, learned dialect training. So my accent got even weirder. Now living in the UK. But I sounded British before coming to the UK. So, for example, when I was spending time in Manchester last year, so I was there for a month, and a lot of people just assumed I was from the South because they're like, oh, well, you sound English, but you don't sound like they do up north, so you must just be from the South. I'm like, well, you're not wrong. Just like way, way further south. just much, 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 much further south. Past the hemisphere south. Take care, Joshua. Take care. Hi, BA. Good morning. Ticks in New Zealand don't carry Lyme disease, though. There are no established populations that transmit Lyme disease. Oh, there we go. Cheers, Boba. I was there in February, Faceless. I loved it. I was on the Western Cape, and I just I want to go back. I don't know when that would be, when I'd have an opportunity to go back, but I want to go back. It was just beautiful. Luna! I think Twitch chat is getting very unimportant. I don't know what you mean by that. Sorry, Luna. I know that I'm multi-streaming, so it can seem like there feels like a lot of YouTube, but I wouldn't say it's unimportant. No, please, definitely not. I kind of compare it more to if we had just a larger community, and so if it were Twitch with higher viewership and higher chatters, then it just takes longer to get through. But it just happens to be on YouTube as well. But no, definitely not. I love my Twitch chatters because they're often not as weird. Whenever I look at my chat, the messages that get banned and deleted are always on YouTube. Don't get me wrong, YouTubers. There are a few fine bunch in there as well. But we have a lot less weirdos on Twitch at the moment. All I don't know is the island with a nice house and no contact, so that is all. Thought I was up to something weird. I'm in reality just sustaining perennium outside. I don't know what perennium is, but yeah, you're just having a solitude, basically. You're literally 20 minutes from me. Oh my gosh. James, is that you? What do you do for work at the moment? I am just a content creator, but once I get my official visa, then I will consider getting a part-time job here in the UK. It would be nice to have a little bit extra money. My uncle gets ticks. Ow, never pays them back. My turn to equalize. I don't know what that means. I cannot distinguish. Yeah, and that's the other thing. Dustin, as an American, it can be hard to know the difference between New Zealand and Australian accents. The same way that I wouldn't know like the variations between the American accents. And I don't even know the variations between the British accents. So it can be tough. Yeah, exactly, Boba. We've got our community going on Twitch, and so it's more we've had time to find our lot on Twitch. Thanks, Todd. You too. Ah, that's so funny, Sweekly. I had no idea. Sun tanning, not sustaining. That's why. Sun tanning the perennial. Yeah, exactly. You just didn't want people looking at your junk. Fair enough. Fair enough. I'm glad you're not a discontent creator. Hilarious. Can you not hear me? Oh, my window's closed. Should I open it and then try again? Just figuring out moved around the world. Yeah, exactly. And that's literally why I'm in the UK, because of how easy it is with the Commonwealth. No, you're not totally wrong. I'll give you that much. You're not totally wrong. Okay, so I promised a story before I play some games. Also, I was meant to play games like an hour ago, so I'll tell the story. This is about the wealth. So the mods already kind of know the story. Mods don't give more info than I am going to give. So basically, for those who are just kind of coming in, I was trying to dispel the idea that everyone is just interested in, like every girl is just a gold digger, basically. However, I have had a situation. Yeah, I was a ghost the whole time. I had a situation where I met someone and they were driving a Mercedes, and I was like, all right, it was a nice Mercedes. And so there were some jokes about Mercedes for a while, because that's basically what the mods knew. Exactly, it's hot, right? And I was like, damn. And then we went on another date, and I was like, oh, where's the Mercedes? And they're like, oh, it was a rental. And this is the thing, is I don't consider myself a gold digger, but there was a part of me that was like, oh, well, that's disappointing. It was a really nice Mercedes, okay? And you know, it was fine. It was fine. But it was a surprise. And you know, that was on me. I made assumptions, okay? When someone picks you up in a Mercedes, you make assumptions, okay? Yeah, I got scammed, exactly. I was like, what the frick is this? And oh my gosh, so yeah, that sucks. So thanks for turning up, but you know, like, yeah, I'll totally be in touch. We'll totally be in touch. So that is the short notes version. Usually my stories like that would go on a lot longer, but I know that we were close to an ad break on Twitch, so I wanted to just throw that in there. It's just a rental, yeah. Don't think this is gonna work out. Peak strategy. If only they stayed for day 1 for the Merc, and they don't want date 3 after knowing the Merc's got. Yeah, exactly. It's like let's test the waters here. You got a taste of the sweet life. That's the problem. Is I was like, oh man, this is a nice Mercedes, and then I didn't get to drive in it again. Yeah, it was only a Mercedes. Ugh, cringe. I'm a rental baby. That's the one. Not a sugar baby, but a rental baby. If I ever pick you up in a 400k Mercedes, then it would be a bus. I love that. I got pulled over as soon as I tried to take my old Mercedes out. Oh no, you just want to give it a spin. I don't care what kind of car it is. If it has that new car smell, I'm impressed. Yeah, as long as it's looked after. So my ex, they were really into cars, and the thing that was impressive about their cars was how meticulous they were. And so I completely agree. I guess I could be your rental geek girlfriend. Do you like Converse shoes? I don't wear them. I don't own any Converse shoes. I don't they don't really suit my style, but I don't mind them on other people. It's off-putting because they kind of deliberately no. They didn't deliberately misrepresent the situation. It's a lot deeper than that, but if I go deeper than that, then I'm sharing a lot of like my personal love life, and it's not something that I really like talking about on stream. I've spoken a little bit about some dates I've been on, but I don't share everything because it just starts becoming very personal, and so it was not a misrepresentation whatsoever. It was just funny. It genuinely was just funny. And I guess exactly. It was not a misrepresentation. It was just funny. And that's why I said it was an assumption on my behalf, because I also was driving a rental car, so there was a lot they could have assumed that what did I have, a VW Tygo, I think is what it was called. They could have made an assumption that was my car, but it was not. Yeah, but some people love Buicks. That's the thing. It can be a bit of everything. A step up from that is, just clean your fucking car. Exactly. And so that's kind of what I was alluding to with my ex. My ex, they loved looking after their car. And so it was a care was, it just made them seem like they weren't a fucking slob, okay? that's what it really boils down to. I remember with my ex, when I was kind of telling my friends that about him, I was like, oh my god, and he's so clean. Like, I went to his house and it was just so clean, so tidy. There was no rubbish in his car. Like, that was literally one of the things that I was raving about. So it goes a long way. A crazy long way. I have not run into my favorite barista. I didn't go to the coffee shop today though, but that's a simple answer there. Imagine taking it back to his house and it was an Airbnb. Hilarious. The coolest car I've driven was a 96 Corvette Stingray. Ooh, yeah, that does sound fun. Yeah, just giving us a brief, no need to get super deep. Exactly. And so that's why it was just a short story, because I do start feeling, I get like shy and nervous when it comes to sharing too much about my personal life. Oh yeah, so Redacted was the one with the, not the Mercedes, but the clean car, the cleanliness. I'm a non-fucking slob. Nice! Yeah, no. Messy is okay. Messy with a Y is not okay. My hearse was a Buick. Yeah, out of context, it's so dark to turn up to a date with. Thank you, Dustin. Yeah, exactly. As long as it's clean. And that's the thing, is people love the Buicks. I love, I get that that's a whole subculture as well. I think you became my girlfriend's crush. Hell yeah. Maybe too clean. Yeah, actually, I wouldn't put it past my ex. My ex was very meticulous. They were very, very, very clean. Like, not OCD clean, but like, if it turned out that they had hid a body, I'd believe it. Like, if anyone's gonna hide one, they'd be pretty good at it. I don't know why they'd be good at it, but they're very good at being clean. Try turning up to the coffee shop in a rental Mercedes. Exactly. Anyway, so for those who are here last year in the Twitch, that is where all of the jokes of the Mercedes came from, because Dolta, one of our moderators, brought my personal story to stream where it's like, well, ain't no Mercedes. And I was like, oh God, stop. So that was basically the moderators being like, we know something that everyone else doesn't know, and we're trying to make Clem embarrassed. And it worked. It worked consistently. So that is where all of the jokes about me wanting a Mercedes came from, that I hadn't really spoken about last year. I'm pretty neat. Just don't look at the in my trunk or offers. Yeah, but you need your spaces as well. God bless, thank you. Women like filthy, stinking rich men, but not filthy, stinking men? Bitches, am I right? All right, everyone. That is where we are going to leave it for the yapping. I knew that this would happen. So often I do my live streaming chat sessions in the morning because it goes on, and I play the games in the afternoon. But I was catching up with my parents this morning, so I postponed it. So we're going to go play some video games, and if you guys are on YouTube and you want to come hang out with some Red Dead Redemption 2, you can check it out over on xclem Plays, the YouTube channel, but you cannot live chat over there. I have live chat disabled on the xclem Plays YouTube channel, or you can come hang out on Twitch. And then you can keep on yapping, and whoa, there's a lot of links going on. You can keep on yapping and still watch some games. But in general, if you've enjoyed yourself, please consider subscribing. I'll be back here tomorrow in my morning. Hey, Toad, good to see you. Thanks for all the comments on all of the on the shorts, Toad. Like, actually, it brings me so much joy. I obviously don't respond to them all, but I see the comments. I'm like, Toad's so cool. Toad's just out there being a champ. So thank you for the engagement. It really means a lot. Like I said, even if I don't respond, I do see them and I appreciate it greatly. So point being, YouTube, if you guys have enjoyed yourself, consider subscribing. I'll be back live likely tomorrow for some show and tell. We're gonna do some reacts and watch some videos that people have submitted. That's it. That's the spiel. Just thank you, guys. Thank you. Well, I'm playing on PlayStation 5 in that answer. Okay, no more questions. We're going to go play games. Thanks, YouTube. You've been great.